world moves fast. Your workday, even faster. Pitching products, drafting reports, analyzing data. Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI assistant for work. Built into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other Microsoft 365 apps you use. Helping you quickly write, analyze, create, and summarize. So you can cut through clutter and clear a path to your best work. Learn more at Microsoft.com/M365 Copilot.
All right, man. Well, you ready to get this? You ready to get this thing rolling, Michael?
Let's do it.
All right, man. Well, Mike, appreciate you coming back on the HuntStand podcast. We're filling up Fridays today, and we're gonna be talking deer. We're gonna be talking whitetail activity. We're gonna be giving the folks some tips and everything. And I know you've been on the podcast before, but just real quick, kind of give the folks a little the skinny on Michael Lee, real quick, man.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on, Will. I appreciate the time, man. Michael Lee, that's me. Been doing this stuff called Backwoods Life on TV for about 18 years now, and been in the industry for about 20. So been around a minute, shot a few deer here and there, and a few turkeys and stuff like that, and had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Just a few, right?
Just a few.
Just a few. Well, man, the purpose of these episodes this time of year, we're going to be getting some rut reports as soon as November gets in the swing of things. But for this last week of October, I want to give the listeners a Whitetail Activity Report, and specifically, I want to do it in the Southeast, and you've been hunting Kentucky of late, and so kind of tell us, man, what have you been seeing in terms of whitetail activity and action? How have these deer been acting right now for you?
Well, the weather's been crazy, to say the least, so just got back from Kentucky myself last night, was up there for about 5 or 6 days. The colder temperatures that we had kind of kicked things off. The deer moving pretty good, seeing a lot of deer, and then it warmed up and it just shut them down. But the acorns are raining down up there right now. I mean, white oaks are dropping like you have to wear a helmet if you're going to hunt close to them. It's going to hurt that bad. So you know how that goes.
Oh, yeah. Well, man, it's kind of crazy how, this warm weather and acorns have been shutting deer down. I've been seeing some similar stuff in Texas. I've kind of been hearing some similar things from other parts of the nation. And so you've kind of been seeing that limited activity. And, have you found any success in the past week or so? Or, what have you been doing to try and, maximize your time in the woods?
Well, it's that time of year. Like a lot of people, I think they call it the October lull.
Yeah.
But what I call an October lull, it's not really a lull in deer activity. It's just that time of the year where we're in a big transition where the rut's not quite fired off good yet, and the bucks especially are hammering the food sources. And we still got a lot of greenery in the woods. There's still a little bit of browse out there. We've even had a couple frosts and stuff, but we haven't, hit it hard enough to deter, I guess, them from browsing as much. The acorns are falling, like I said, so deer can literally get up out of their bed. They can walk around, even go 50 yards and feed in the woods with no problem. And then closer to evenings, if they want to hit a field, they got plenty of crops still out there. Corn and beans are still standing. So I think it's just the perfect time for a whitetail to just gorge themselves on food, and that creates a lull because they don't have to go walk by your stand to get there. There's so much out there right now, so it's a chess match.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it's insane just how this time of year you can get frustrated easily, right? And I've been experiencing that myself because I think my deer are doing exactly what you just described. They're getting up and they're maybe moving 50 yards and then they just go right back to bed. So,
yeah. And even in states, like you're in Texas and we were up there in Kentucky. I mean, you can hunt over bait in both these states, but and people talk about how, oh man, you hunt over bait, it's so easy. I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, when deer will walk through a pile of corn to go eat acorns, I've seen it happen. Like they don't care anything about it, so bait is a good thing in my opinion, depending on your goals. But at the end of the day, it's not a cure-all. It's not just going to mean you go out there and just slam deer because you got a corn pile out.
Oh, exactly, man. It's funny you say that because I have actually turned feeders off on our place here in Texas, because corn was starting to pile up. And so we just let the pigs hammer it, clean out underneath it because we got a lot of pigs. But, it's funny that you say that because people, they think like right now I've got a project that I'm trying to film and I just have to get a doe, man. That's the crazy thing about this is the way that our place is set up. It's really set up to hunt November, December, January. And I haven't hunted too much this time of year just because of what I'm going through right now. And people are like, man, you're in Texas and you can't get a deer down. I'm like, you would not believe the acorns. We've been fighting the full moon up until this week. And it's just the deer don't need to come to where I am. And so I'm trying to figure that out myself. But yeah, it's been a little crazy, man. And so with this October lull talk, right? You know, we're talking deer just don't have to move much. The bucks are gorging themselves. You know, what kind of advice would you give that hunter that's hearing this or they're experiencing the same thing and they're headed to the stand this weekend?
My biggest advice is from even here in Georgia, we've got a lot of different terrain in the state, but we've got a lot of acorn flats and ridges and white oaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think if you can identify the right acorn tree, you're going to be really successful. Of course, you know, weather has a play a fact. I mean, it's 80 degrees here today, so I mean, it's terrible for that.
Oh,
but,
man.
Yeah, it's rough, but you know, I think targeting the right areas, and I know it's hard to, you know, dictate which tree might be the better than the other tree or whatever, but deer, you know, they're lazy, man. They don't want to do a whole lot if they don't have to. So if you've got an acorn flat or, you know, a nice white oak or heck, live oaks, water oaks, whatever oaks you've got available, and you know that they're dropping acorns right now and they're close to a bedding area, try to get in there tight. I've had great success over the years. We have a lot of pine plantations down here, but we would hunt the biggest white oaks that were as close to the thickest pine plantations that we could. Just get in there as much cover, right to as much cover as possible, without, you know, disturbing the area. You know, playing the wind right, making sure you got all those variables in check, but finding those right trees. And a tip that my dad taught me a long time ago, especially on trees such as white oak trees. Yeah. When the leaves start to change, the oaks that hold on to their acorns and have the most acorns will lose their leaves last. So that's a tip that I've found true everywhere I've gone.
Okay. I have never heard that before. That's a good...
Until I saw it. I mean, I literally saw it in Kentucky. Like all the leaves were changing, everything up there's falling off, just raining down leaves. And the white oaks that we were hunting that had just, I mean, tons of acorns falling off, still had a lot of green leaves on them compared to the rest of the trees around them.
Dadgum. Man, that's a good little nugget for all the listeners to pick up on. I never heard that one.
Check that out. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I've seen it so many times. I think there's something to that.
Hey, I believe you. So have you seen any of your deer starting to act any kind of ruddy at all, or have you seen any indication that the rut's going to be kicking off for you in the next week or two?
Yeah, I've got a couple cameras on scrape sites. They're not too far from feeding areas, but they're really active scrapes. And I've seen in the last couple of weeks, which we've been really, really dry here, I think that hurts scrape activity a lot. But I've seen bucks hitting scrapes pretty good on camera right now. So I think they're getting ready. And this is a group of like 4 scrapes under a couple of trees. So I know it's like a community scrape area. It's not just one buck running through this territory. And that's what I like to find. I mean, I like to find those giant scrapes that are, you know, close to feeding areas or on the edges of food plots or whatever, because most every buck that comes through there is going to hit it. So that's what I do a lot of my scouting on, and I'll know what, you know, who's kind of running the roost in that area. And they're hitting them pretty good right now. I got some pretty cool trail cam videos of bucks working them and the branches over them. So I don't think we're too far off. Usually Halloween is really early rut for us here, 1st of November. And they'll start checking does, and then they'll go hard all the way to almost Thanksgiving. And then it's kind of, they're trying to find those last few does that come in before they shut down. And then, of course, you'll have that little January upkick for the does that didn't get bred. But I think we're not too far off.
Man, do you like to hunt those scrapes at all?
I do actually. It's I think a high risk, high reward, because there's most scrape activity that I've seen over my lifetime anyway is at night, especially on your mature bucks. But you never know. I mean, if you get the right does in the area or the right weather conditions, I like to hunt them right after a rain. I think that's, you know, a lot of people do that, you know, kind of pick up them bucks coming back in to freshen them up, clean them out, and, you know, they're shopping for those does, so they got to stay on their A game. But I really like these community scrape spots because you don't never know who's going to show up on that one. You're not just hunting, I will say if you've got a big buck identified and you can find his scrape line, then that could work. But again, most of the scrape activity is at night. So.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, man, this is all good reporting out from your neck of the woods. I love it. Hopefully we got somebody that's listening out there to this today, and they're going to take this and go get them a buck this weekend, or hopefully get close at least. So, man, just appreciate you taking the time to hop on the podcast with me real quick today and talk deer and whitetail activity, man.
I appreciate it, Will. It's always a pleasure, my friend. Good luck out there. Hopefully the tide will turn for you, and those acorns will dry up, and them bucks will start doing right for you.
Man, I'm trying everything. I'm a superstitious guy when it comes to deer hunting. I used to be with bass fishing too. Like with bass fishing, they say don't ever put a banana in the boat.
Yep.
with deer hunting, I had a big long beard going for a little bit, so I decided to trim that thing up, and hopefully that will change my luck here before soon. So, but yeah, man.
Well, I think one last time we talked, I told you about my lucky underwear, right?
Yeah, you're a superstitious guy too, man. You got them lucky underwear.
Yeah. That's right. Don't forget about it, man. I mean, it's always an option. You just got to find the right pair.
Man, I might have to figure that out. I'll have to change up underwear tonight before I go, or clip my toenails or something. We'll figure it out. So,
right on, man.
Well, appreciate it, Michael. I will talk to you soon, my friend.
All right. Thanks, Will. Good luck, bud.